Hello my friends, today we're going to have fun using stamps in different ways to make a one-layer card. I wanted to show you a fun way to use masks as well as inking up your stamps a little differently to get a different effect. So let's get started. I just want to show you the prep work I did ahead of time. This is just computer scratch paper I had, and I just measured and drew a rectangle and cut it out with my hobby blade, and then I kept the negative. And so this fits just right in here, and we're going to use both. And I already made a couple cards as practice, so that's why they're all inked right now. But then you just need some temporary adhesive. So I don't have a temporary adhesive. I just have the refill I bought from the Dotto brand. And these are just little dots, and I just use them basically like glue dots. I just peel back the strip, and then I just press my paper down on it like a glue dot. And so then I get temporary adhesive on there. So first we're going to use this part of the mask with this portion cut out. And I just line up the corner into the corner of my card. So that's on there temporarily. And then I'm using my teeny tiny backdrops stamp from Lawn Fawn. And I'm going to use Crumb Cake, which is just a light craft color from Stampin' Up. So I'm just going to ink that up and just stamp directly over this mask and press firmly so that you get a nice impression near the edges. So I'm going to just press firmly here and then stamp one more time to fill that whole rectangle portion. Okay. Now before I remove the mask, I'm going to put my negative piece back in this rectangle, but I'm going to put a little bit more of this temporary adhesive on it so it stays put, just kind of near the edges. So I'm going to line it up so it's there where it belongs, and now I'm going to remove this mask here. I'm going to take that same Crumb Cake ink and a little sponge dauber, finger dauber, and I'm just going to start in the middle and pull off and go all the way around this mask. So what this is going to do is create an outline to just define the area that we masked. So now when I remove this mask, I'm just going to rub off the little adhesive dots, but you can see the results you get from that. It's really nice for a one-layer card. Okay, then for the focal point, I'm using this flower stamp from my Mind's Eye Lost and Found collection, the Adore, and I'm just going to stamp it using some Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Up! Ink. Just directly onto white cardstock. And then I'm just going to cut that out. Now once that's cut out, I'm just going to adhere that to the center of this masked area that we created as a focal point. And to make it stand out a little more, I'm using my white gel pen, and I'm just going to highlight these little circles of the flower here. And then to really make this pop, I'm going to use Stampin' Up's Crystal Effects, which is similar to Glossy Accents. And this is just going to add a nice layer of shimmer, a clear layer of on top of this flower, which really makes the color pop. Okay, now you got to let that dry. Okay, and then the last thing is my sentiment. So I'm using this sentiment from Stampin' Up! From the A Word For You stamp set. And a fun way to use your stamps is to use different colors. And I wanted to use the same red, but I don't have the marker for it. So I'm going to use the same ink pad, but I'm just going to use the corner of it and just brush it on lightly over the sentiment, the portion that I want in this color. And Stampin' Up's ink pads are really nice because they have these grips on the side, so you can really have a nice firm hold on it. And the ink pad itself is raised up, so you can see on sideways where you're inking to make sure you get only where you want. So I'm just inking the words Happy Anniversary in this cherry cobbler. And then for the sentiment below, which says, and many more to come, I'm going to use my chocolate chip marker. And brush over those words. And then I pre-stamped this on my Stamp-O-Majig clear sheet. So I'm going to locate where I want the sentiment on my card. Then place my jig, butt it up to the corner. Make sure it's straight and where I want it. And then I'm going to take my stamp and just huff on it, just breathe heavily on it to re-moisten the ink. And then push it up to the corner and stamp. Straight down, push firmly, and lift straight up. And so there's my one layer card using with stamps in a different way. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.